Okay, I've got like 2 more minutes to queue up this. And then if I can find it. Yeah. Jesus, who's breathing so good?
Rhiannon, she had her microphone up her nose.
I did.
It's like not an exaggeration, her microphone is up her nose.
It was a slight exaggeration, but
No.
nothing touched my nose, inside or outside.
Allegedly.
Don't do it, Ethan. No, I just see you thinking of puns. Yeah, no, I know. I know how your brain works.
Oops, I did it again, didn't I? Oh well, I'll enjoy that. That, and then that. Is everybody here? Are we all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, define ready.
I mean, are you present?
Yes.
I mean,
Present.
Are you accounted? Okay. All right. Should maybe get these out. For no particular reason.
Surprise second round of combat.
Oh,
Surprise,
God.
second bigger worm.
God.
I will simply be opening my arms and letting it take me. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that again.
Worm
We all
number
just
3
get
was
eaten by the
last
worm
one.
together.
speak for yourselves.
Okay. I lived, bitch. When we last left off, you had led the small, budding city of Greystad in a defense against a battalion of invading drow. A force here looking for your cleric's brother, striking out at whatever might bring them comparable results. The drow brought with them a small invading force, some elite guard and mages, as well as a massive earth-boring worm referred to as the Highwayman. Your party engaged this worm in an effort to keep it from turning on the townsfolk, while they themselves rallied to defend their homes from the invaders. The battle, though over relatively quickly, did not conclude without heavy losses. Though in the end, the people of Greystad emerged victorious, several of the townsfolk fell to their attackers, and so too did your rogue, dispatched by the commander-in-chief of this attack, Navira. We resume as the energy of the battle begins to taper. The last of the invaders are put down, and the townsfolk surge to your aid. They surround the unconscious worm, and under the leadership of their guard captain, launched a coordinated strike against it. It rears back to consciousness for only moments before the graveness of its open wounds hit it with a weight too heavy to bear. It collapses into the cobble and dirt with a groan before it is beset by the townsfolk, cutting under its rocky plates of armor and beginning to carve down the beast beneath. Another group swarmed the last survivor, Navira herself, taking her arms and legs, gagging her mouth and wrapping her head before she goes under the weight of multiple men. There are sounds and signs of struggle, but she is outnumbered, and after being properly subdued, she is dragged towards the town hall as a limp, restrained, body-shaped mess. It leaves your party in a strange and eerie peace, not unlike the deafening calm that follows a devastating storm. There are townsfolk that communicate around you, coordinating a cleanup of debris and dead that will take them well into the night. There are a few who look like they might approach your party, but one look will turn them away for another time. With the danger past, you are free to realize the full scope of the damage done. With the battle over, those who took shelter will begin to return and take stock of the losses. While the structural damage may be minimal, there will soon sound agonized wails and mourning cries as the bodies of loved ones are identified. An occasional sob or scream pierces over the rooftops of the shaken city. It is an unsettling sound to hear, but it is a sound that resonates within your chests as you gather around a loss of your own. Realm Collie lays awkwardly over the debris and rubble of the well-met inn. His body is littered in wounds. Bruises like to decorate his skin beneath his armor. But the most prominent one is the very same to have taken his life. There is a clear line across his face, his eyes and nose smattered with blood, 2 bloody copper coins where his eyes once were. He is still, unbreathing, unmoving. What do you do?
I'm going to go over to where Realm is with Solus, I believe, who's there. I'm going to slowly get down on my knees, and I'm going to brush my fingers through his hair and say, I can't even thank you for everything that you've done for me. And I'm sorry. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds to see if I can't at least clean up some of his wounds.
Some of them will close, but the prominent one will remain.
We should get him off the streets.
Take him back to the house.
And I will go pick him up.
Okay.
Discord crashed. Maybe it's back.
Sorry?
My Discord crashed, but it didn't crash.
Oh.
So I thought I was talking to myself. So I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, I think it's fine. Sorry.
So Darby scoops up Realm's body. It's very light.
I'm just going to quietly start walking back towards the house.
I will follow pretty closely behind.
I will nod to the townspeople that we do see and then also follow.
I'll catch up with you guys in just a second.
So the three of
And
you
yeah.
begin to trek back up the cobblestone path towards your estate, perched atop the hill overlooking the little city. As you go, you will pass the large, hulking frame of Todd, trailed after by his daughter. They're both carrying bodies, and by the looks of the clothes they wear, woodworkers. Isla will nod to you, but Todd keeps his eyes down. Vaughn,
Is it to the 3 of them or to all of us?
you will all see it.
Okay.
Just nod in return.
What are you doing, Vaughn?
So at this point, if we're basically where we left off, he's still 50 feet in the air and he's able to survey everything all, or at least all the damage that he could see from this point, and he's gonna float down, and after acknowledging that Ala and Todd are okay, and he's just checking off who he knows to check for, and then going to see who else needs help that he can help quickly before he'll catch up with the others.
So, from your vantage point, you will see that, thankfully, much of the town is still standing and in relatively good condition. The townsfolk were able to hold the attackers to the south, and they got no further than around the bonfires they had set up as a perimeter of defense, keeping the worm and the more well-trained of the drow attackers off of the townspeople did make a world of difference. And save for the crushed building, a well-met inn, and a couple of new holes bored through not only the town square, but the inn itself, the damage is minimal. And as those who took shelter return, they will set back to trying to clean up the rubble, collecting the bodies that remain. You will catch sight of Ben and his son Chris reuniting in a warm and thankful hug before they join the repairs. You will spot a blonde elf hurrying in the footsteps of your comrades as if trying to catch up to them. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I'll intercept that.
Okay. He's quite quickly, almost jogging to catch up to where Darby, Solace, Laconia, and Realm are somewhat up the hill. And as you float down and land enough in his path to stop him, he's smiling and says, "Oh, thank goodness. We're really lucky to have the lot of you with us, aren't we? Could have been much worse. All in all, Greystead held firm."
Yeah.
I'm sure that the town would be eager to thank your friends, and there is much cleanup to be done. I was hoping to get a word in with them, all of you.
Yeah, one of us, we lost one of us in this fight. So, we're gonna take some time, and I think we all need a second, but we will certainly come back down and share in this, both this loss and this victory with the community tonight.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. Is there anything we can do? Anything we can get for you? We don't have much in the way of healers, but we have some that might be able to help.
I think we will send for help if we need it, but I think we have what we can do. But thank you.
Ron, can you give me a perception check?
13?
So, Colm seems to be looking from you up past you to the hill that your friends ascend, and he seems to be kind of fidgeting a little bit, as if still considering pushing on. And you will notice just behind him, as you're taking this in and getting ready to make your point firm, that someone else is landing on the ground. The leather-clad wizard, who will smile wide and come to put an arm around the young mayor and say, "If we're talking about compensation, I would love a word, and after that maybe you can find your friends." And he will go to put his other arm on the opposite shoulder of the elf and forcibly turn him and begin walking towards the town square.
And then he will ready to catch up.
Okay. The rest of you will reach your estate, and it is still relatively dark as you left it. Untouched. Fighting never had a chance to make it this far. What do you do?
Look to see what Darby's going to do with Realm.
Darby is just on autopilot at this point and is just gonna go put Realm on their bed.
Solace will pull Realm's sword out of the way, and then will lay it across his chest and fold his hands over it. Make sure the coins are where they should be to cover the wounds.
Place him in his bed. Lay his sword over his chest, and his hands over that. The coins are still there. They hadn't moved much, even despite being carried. It's like something's almost holding them down.
I... Yeah, that's... Yeah, I'm just gonna cover him up with his blanket.
I have to say I'm a little at odds here. Don't know. I do blame myself for everything that happened here, but at the same time, I don't think that Realm would want me to. Because this was just a well-won fight for this town.
Perhaps you're right. And I am going to... Oh god. Just step away from the bed. I'm gonna dismiss Christian as he is and summon him as a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And just tell him to stay in here.
Just gonna go kiss Realm's cheek. Should we bury him?
No, did we bury Darby?
I don't-
We'd have to try. Don't we?
I don't have anything to preserve Realm's body. And I have no way of knowing if somebody had gifted him that, such as they did for Darby. I'm
We'll
not
know
saying we
pretty
won't
soon.
try.
Won't we?
I will not bury him until there is obvious evidence that someone is not looking out for him.
Yes.
Very well.
Vaughn, you will re-enter the room around this time, enough to hear that exchange. You find there is a shape on the bed, under a blanket, and a little star-speckled wolf curled up at the foot of that bed.
spoke with the mayor, and it looks like there are some losses, but for the most part, Graystead pulled through.
They fought well.
That is good to know.
I am sorry that my family brought this on to the town. Feels necessary to make an apology for that.
It isn't. This wasn't you. You didn't do it. All you did was be you. And that's not your fault. It's nothing to blame yourself for. Although I can see why it would hurt like that, but don't.
Yeah, it doesn't do us any good blaming ourselves for this. We just need to think about what we can do and what we have to do.
I'll try not to.
And that's not necessarily something we need to talk about right this second.
We have time or we don't, but what we do now isn't going to matter. Or we have time.
I'm gonna go downstairs and make some food, and you guys are welcome to come down in a little bit. We'll be ready. We'll be ready soon. So I will go to, I guess, start dinner.
Okay.
Probably go to just sit at the dining room table.
Okay. Darby, Solace, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go outside.
After everyone's gone, Solace will lean near the bed and she'll put her hands on either side of Realm's cheeks and then she'll whisper something in Sylvan, a few sentences, and she'll kiss their forehead. And she'll sit for a minute and sing that lullaby that she's sung before. And then she'll get up and she'll walk out of the room and she'll just gently shut the door behind herself, but she won't close it all the way in case Christian needs to get out. She'll just leave it kind of pulled to. And then she'll go downstairs and help Vaughn. If he needs help, he probably doesn't, but she will try to help anyway.
You find ways to keep busy. Darby, front door or back door?
Back door, because the front door is probably a tree or some shit, so I'm going out the back door.
The front door is not a tree at the moment.
Just back door.
Okay. You go to sit outside the back door and look over the yard towards the trees. Waconia, you will be the first to notice when the door does open, and that familiar human brunette wizard will walk in. Smiling, but a little subdued. And he goes for the stairs.
Calder, where are you going?
Upstairs. And he continues.
Well, yes, and then I stumble out of my chair to go. That's not what I meant, I call as I follow up behind him.
Vaughn and Solace, you will likely hear this.
I look at Vaughn, I go, he wouldn't, would he? He wouldn't.
No. No.
I look thoughtful for a second, but I trust Vaughn's judgment, so I will just continue helping cooking.
Okay. Laconia, you go to follow Calder up the steps. He seems rather nonchalant. Takes the corner to the top landing.
Is he going towards Realm's room? I'm going to see. Well, just follow
He
him.
absolutely is. He starts towards that door.
I don't want to make an assumption, but what are you doing? Besides going up the stairs and going to Realm's room, what are you going to do when you're in the
Sounds an awful lot like you might be making an assumption. And he says this as he goes to push open the door.
Well, yes, you do seem to just shove bodies into your napkin void whenever you get a certain chance. And you're not allowed to have Brown.
All right.
Thank you.
He walks into the dark of the room and approaches the bed.
I still follow him.
So, you stand in the doorway, and you'll watch as he pulls out his spellbook and lays it out on the bed beside Realm. He flips through it, just kind of passively, the way one might flip through a magazine at a doctor's office that they're not really committed to picking up.
You're not
Stops
going.
on a page.
You're not going to stop. And I'm just gonna go put my hand down over top of the spellbook.
And he'll look to you.
What are you doing?
What I generally try to do when it comes to all you lovely little idiots. I'm trying to help.
Yes, curiosity might have pulled me up at this point, if possible.
Yeah, we could hear her
I just
like
remembered
getting a little bit
it's like,
shrill.
Wait a minute. I should check that out.
Like that's the
So-
concerning tone in Viconia's voice.
I like the footsteps.
Yeah.
Blissfully unaware outside.
Bless.
Not like raise him as a gross zombie help.
I mean, I could raise
No,
him.
don't,
like.
because then no, thank you. I know the consequences of that.
Well, do you know what other kinds of spells fall under the school of necromancy? And he's going to take your wrist and try to pull it off of the book.
That's not
You
good. It's
should.
a
I will
light
also
It's a-
gently, if possible, pull her back by the shoulders.
So abruptly, there are hands there, Viconia, just nudging you away a little bit, not forcefully.
I'll go around the other side of the bed and I just want to peek and see if I can see any of the words on the page.
I
Go
look
ahead
at
and make an Arcana check.
Vaughn
Yeah.
with concern in my face.
A check with advantage because I speak Sylvan and it's written in Sylvan.
You know what? Fine.
That was my one goodwill. I've used my one goodwill for this session, y'all.
Fine.
That is a 21.
Okay. You will recognize some of the verbal incantations to... I don't know that you've ever actually heard this before. But you recognize the words to an incantation that speaks on preservation.
Also, I'll gently kind of raise a hand towards Vaughn and Viconia.
And as he begins to focus in on the book, and it will raise again, surrounded by that green haze that you have seen raise dead before. This time it just seems to circle the book and then settle over the covered corpse of Realm Collie. And Viconia, you will recognize the verbal and semantic components of Gentle Repose as the coins fade off of Realm's eyes.
You can't blame me for being cautious.
He snaps the book shut looks to you and smiles and says, I don't blame you for being cautious at all. Did you know that is a wonderful spell for keeping good bodies preserved for later raising? You don't want them falling apart when you bring them back. It's unsightly. They're fragile.
Logical, that makes sense.
I should have prepared that.
Well, lucky for all involved, I never have to. Is something burning?
Yeah. I'll be right back. He'll run back downstairs.
I'll follow Vaughn.
Just such a casual, oh yeah, be right back, guys.
And Calder will go to settle his hand on your back, Viconia, between your shoulder blades, and gently go to steer you towards the door.
Taking a breath and go with him.
Will guide you out and gently shut the door. Not completely, but enough to have it shut just in case that Starry Wolf needs to leave for whatever reason. And will keep his hand there as he guides you back down the stairs and back to your seat. And he will join you.
Okay.
Darby, are you staying out there?
Yeah.
If they don't reappear for some time, Solace will go and look for them.
Well, food, I imagine, will start being laid out. And Darby is still sat outside.
Sol will pour 2 glasses of wine and we'll go and sit next to them. Not too close, but, close enough. And then she'll set 1 glass by them and she'll sip on the other and wait.
If anyone is using this to short rest, you roll an additional 1d8 because of the chef feat.
Nice.
Which I am doing.
Yep, you can take a short rest at this point. But some of you sit at the dinner table and eat what you can. Some of you sit outside and do the same. Below, you can hear the calls of the townspeople communicating and what sounds like stone against stone as mountains of rubble are pushed through combined effort to safer places. We'll carry on for a few hours before the fires are all put out. The voices begin to fade. And the city goes dark. It's still and quiet. Much like your abode. Is there anything else you wish to do with this night?
Should we check on the town? See how everyone's doing, or just give it a night?
I think that we should probably, or at least anyone who wishes to help out with some of the aftermath. I might head down to at least heal some of the more gravely wounded.
I'll join you if you do.
I will go and help as well.
Yeah, I think that once we've had whatever dinner people feel like eating, head back into the town to help do what we can to help the town into that more quiet evening.
Okay.
At some point as they're walking, Solace will kind of run her fingers across the ring that Darby wears, and she'll murmur a few words and put Misty Step charge back into it.
Oh, I can do that too. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, after eating what you can, drinking what you can, and hearing the sound of the town trying to put away enough of itself to sleep easy for the night, you go to join the efforts. Heal those that are still wounded, and lend hands and your muscle to clearing rubble, cleaning streetways, putting out fires, and helping carry the dead to a pyre. Thankfully,
Callius. Okay.
there are few. But it does look like Todd's woodworkers were hit the hardest. And that large man spends the evening red-faced, struggling to keep his emotions in check. But anyone who looks at him for longer than a second sees glassy eyes, ruddy cheeks, wet stains in the ginger of his beard.
I'm gonna pull out my harp and I'm gonna pray to my friend Aislinn in hopes that maybe these people can join her in the stars.
So you stand with the townsfolk and play a little lullaby. Eventually, the fire will subside. And of the dead, only ash will remain. One by one, the survivors of Greystead will start to return to their homes. Tired and somber, but alive and still strong. Eventually, the four of you will also be driven back home, taking a long and heavy-seeming trek back up to that estate that feels a little different. As the last of you enters, Calder will put up the big tree door. He does leave it open for the night, but will vanish inside. The rest of you, free to return to your rooms and your beds, and finally put your heads down. Anything else before you finally take your long rest?
I'm gonna stop in Realm's room for a little bit, and then I go to bed.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit on the roof for a little bit with the bottle.
Do I see you go up there?
I'm not gonna hide it.
I'm going to then. Fuck it.
Hell yeah. I wouldn't want to drink a whole bottle by myself.
You could just drink half a bottle with a friend.
And yeah, sure, after a little bit of that, a little bit of talking back and forth, maybe, go to sleep.
All right. Laconia,
Balcony
is there anything
chair.
else you do with the evening?
No, I think that instead of sleeping in my bed, I'm gonna try and meditate on the couch again. Just to kind of both have a chance to keep watch, / I only get 4 hours of sleep anyway, so I'll be up eventually.
Okay. Solace?
Chair on the balcony. I can probably make out what they're saying. I can probably hear the Vaughn and Darby on the roof. And I'm not listening, but it's soothing. I'll fall
You hear
asleep like that
voices.
listening to them.
But not the words. Just a dull murmuring.
It's peaceful. Makes her feel not alone.
Eventually, you all find your beds. Find rest, one way or another. The night will pass quietly. Seems the entire town is exhausted. The silence permeates for miles. But you will take your rests, and eventually a new day will begin. Begins with the sun rising on a day that will feel a little too bright. But there is still a cutting chill to the breeze and frost on the ground. You come to where you left off. Aware you may be one limb short than you usually feel as a unit. You take your time coming back around. Return to the main floor. Settle again together, the 4 of you, with a new day ahead of you. What are you doing with it?
Breakfast.
Vaughn starts on breakfast. An almost ritualistic thing at this point.
I'll try to read some more of my book since I woke up.
You can take down another 4 hours.
Yay.
At this point, Vaughn's just gonna take every opportunity he can to use a kitchen instead of a fireplace.
It does come with amenities that you don't get on the road.
Oh,
Did
at some point in the
I-
morning, I want to sneak into Calder's and take a bath.
Okay.
Hi, did my bird come back from the big battle in town?
Another casualty.
Okay, great.
No, that's not
It
a
is
joke
worth
you get to
noting.
make, Ethan.
She would have been circling the battlefield the entire time, screeching to draw whatever attention she could. When things began to settle, she would have returned to your room, flown in through the window, and found a perch to relax at.
She will get a very big breakfast and lots of scratches.
She'll be quite happy to get both of those. She thinks she did a great job.
She did a great job. And then I will say good morning to Christian from the hallway, and I won't go in there, and then I go downstairs.
Okay. We will sit a little bit quieter at this breakfast table than usual. You will eventually have an interruption after Viconia has bathed and left the pocket dimension. So too will Calder, and will join you for breakfast, seeming quite nonplussed about everything that had happened the night before. Normal Tuesday night.
So, at some point today, I imagine we need to talk to the mayor. He seemed very
Sure,
urgent to
there's-
speak with us. I know, Calder, you did get the chance to speak with him briefly before rejoining us.
I did, and he's quite eager to shake all your hands and tell you what a great job you've done.
Of course.
Oh, good.
He means well, I suspect. He's just... doesn't have a lot of tact.
There it is. Yeah.
Was Navira someone we're going to want to talk to?
Yes.
I don't know who in this town would be the authority to interrogate them, if not us, honestly. Maybe Captain? The redheaded one? Was he a redhead?
Millard.
I was drinking a lot that night.
Captain Millard.
There you go. Okay. So maybe him, but also I think it's worth talking to as well if we're up for it.
There's probably also help that's needed in town.
There's things we need to know. We need to make sure that there isn't going to be a repeat of this. So I think we definitely.
You think an entire drow battalion can just disappear off the face of the earth and go unchecked?
Exactly.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I did it once.
I think the best we can do at this point is to get out of here, maybe, so this city or town, sorry, at least doesn't have to deal with this again.
We need to find the nearest place with a healer who might have the skill necessary for Realm. I don't know if that's Sainsbury, but I suspect it may be, but that's going in the wrong direction.
If we have to do it, we have to do it.
Yes.
Is there anyone that you've heard of in your town where your mother lives that might have the necessities to do so? Vaughn?
Would I?
This is the town, technically.
I was
That
thinking
you
that.
would
I
have
was
spent
thinking like
the
this
most
is-
time in.
No, because I think this was the closest thing to a town the inn is near.
But perhaps your mother might know someone.
Perhaps. We are definitely stopping by to see her either way if we head off on the road.
I have the issue that Belil might be coming here. Because it's the last place that I told him that I would be.
Well, I mean,
We'll leave a message for him.
we could do that.
Yeah.
Leave a breadcrumb trail.
The only problem I have is that he might think that someone has kidnapped me. And now is coming here rather angrily.
He seemed angry anyway.
He
From
did.
what you said about it.
Well,
I
he
don't know
wouldn't
if that is
believe that it
influence.
was me, the stubborn numbskull.
So maybe the idea that he thinks you're kidnapped is pushing him harder to catch up to us. Maybe that works out in our favor. Maybe we should make it look like you're kidnapped.
Maybe it'll pull him from whatever he's doing long enough to come see me. But I don't understand. Why did they think that he was in this town and he's not in this town?
Maybe somebody is feeding them lies, telling untruths.
And put a whole town in jeopardy while doing it.
Maybe they're following a breadcrumb trail themselves and not as close to him as they thought.
If we do speak to Navira, what is it that we're going to say?
I want to know, because we don't know why they wanted you, right? Except for the fact that justice needed to be served. There had to be something more than that to send an entire battalion after you.
Well, she stated that there was something that Belil knew, or information, for the Vassilas that he needed or something? That's why she was after Valil and I was just a secondary prize, I suppose.
Well, they risked a lot for a secondary prize, so I want to make sure that that's the case if it is.
Well, Navira was in charge and what she says goes, so...
We also need to see if we can find out what to expect as far as retaliation goes.
Aside from the fact that they might want her dead as well, yes, that is a possibility.
We can help them with that.
And I also want to know why she had that out so personally for us. There was more than just doing a mission to her. It felt like more than anything, she just wanted to hurt us.
I think she did want to
Sure.
hurt us, and I think she specifically wanted to hurt me.
I think we killed someone important to her.
And I'm curious as to who. So, yeah, I think it's worth talking to her.
I would love a chance to talk to her.
Be cautious. She's still powerful, and she's had a chance to rest.
I think it'll probably be best if I remain towards the back for this particular confrontation.
If that is where you are comfortable. We are going to need her to speak though, so it would be wise to have counterspell at the ready.
Not for nothing, she technically doesn't need to be alive to speak. But nope, continue with your war crimes over breakfast.
She doesn't. That is a very good point.
War crimes ever.
But I think at that point we only get
asking
5 questions.
There was
all-
discussions about killing a hostage, so I assumed we were just leaning into the war crimes.
We can all be war criminals together. Wow.
I'm heading into town, and Solus will push back from the table and stand up, and she will grab a roll. I assume Vaughn made rolls, because what kind of a breakfast would it be without a roll? And then she will head out the door without any further commentary.
I think who.
I got nothing either.
Who thought about killing?
Well, if someone's going to town, Darby is also just without a word gonna get up and go too.
All right. I guess this is. We're going to town. Alright.
Corner store, get some milk.
Wait, me too.
You rise, and so one by one go for the door. Solace, you reach it first, and you throw it open and begin to march down towards town with your bread roll in hand.
Yep.
You make it about halfway down before, ahead of you on the path, you spot a pair of people. One of them, an elven man, with telltale high cheekbones and tall build of his race. He's a little broader, his jaw a little squarer, cheeks and frame a little fuller overall. Looks well fed. There's a cap of shaggy brown hair and brown eyes. Looks a little red in the face, like he's been running for a while. He seems animated about something, glancing towards you up the path before back to his companion. Rhiannon. Eve. What does Solace see?
She's relatively short, blue tiefling with wings, bat-like wings protruding from her back. Her horns kind of curve up and then curve out and then up. She has golden eyes. She's not wearing very much in the way of clothing. She's wearing like a crop top and sort of like a skirt but long, and the skirt is kind of ragged, sort of like it's been ripped up a bit. And I have a visual.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, babe. Dibs.
Well, that's weird to do.
I made jokes during my sorrow. I'm sorry.
So, Eve, as you stand there, your companion Brian has seemed to have his nerves catch up to him. He is saying, "That's where the witch said I needed to go. Up that hill. She's in there, waiting."
This hill right here with the up
This
there.
hill. Up there. That big house.
Well, maybe we can ask these people about it.
The people coming out of the witch hut. Yes, okay. Hello, people.
Hello, people.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
I'm Eve.
There.
This is Brian.
Just step up next to Vaughn.
Hello, Eve. Hello, Brian.
Y'all must be new to town. I can't recall seeing your faces yesterday.
Just got in this morning. Tell me. Any witches in that house up there?
Define a witch.
What do you mean by yeah? What do you mean by witch?
Yeah, what is a witch?
I
do?
am someone very hag-like, long fingers, probably poor teeth.
No, no one like that.
How are my teeth?
No, I
and I
like
look
that.
at Vaughn.
Well, I mean, they're not poor. They're not poor teeth.
Oh, thank you.
It's like middle class teeth.
Well, okay.
Do you all look
Oh, we're
a
actually-
little strange? But I certainly have seen stranger, and you don't look witchy or hag-like.
Is there any reason you'd come here to search for a witch?
Well, a witch told me she would be here. She's got a friend of mine held captive, and I desperately need to save her.
A friend of yours?
Yes,
What?
Would you have a name that you're looking for?
Erilyn.
She's been captured.
Something. She was supposed to return days ago, and she hasn't.
I'm sorry, who are you to her?
I work for her, actually. I've been...
Do I recognize this person?
Oh,
You do not.
The person. I'm just learning this too. The person your mom was talking about
Oh, yeah.
training to.
Maybe.
Did you ever ask your mom the name of that guy?
I'm pretty sure she
Nope.
said it.
I think she said it a couple
I'm
of
pretty
times.
sure she said it a couple of
Because I
times.
kept trying to think of, I had heard the name Brian before, but I was like, I don't know where Brian's from, but here he is, coming to our
Hi,
house.
Brian.
Well,
Do we have a witch in our house that we don't know about? Has anyone been
No,
into the
just those-
basement?
is the witch in question Erilyn, or is someone a witch holding Erilyn hostage?
Well, see, this is very difficult to explain. I hear voices sometimes in my head, and recently they said I needed to come here, and that she would be here. And
Uh-huh.
I mean-
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Her inn is close.
I left very early this morning, and Eve was kind enough to come with me. I imagine probably a little concerned for my safety.
So you're not coming from
Definitely
the inn,
no other reasons.
or are you coming from the inn?
I'm coming from the inn. I had to shut it
Okay.
down. Sorry, do you know
Well-
the inn? I don't think I said the name.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Vaughn. I'm her son.
Oh, you're Vaughn. Small universe, isn't it?
Like,
Not as small as you might think.
Should I send
Not
a,
as small as it feels.
I think it's pretty big, actually.
should I send a message to your mother?
Pretty big. Pretty big.
I have a
You
stone.
get it.
Oh,
Um,
right.
The stone?
A
Message?
sending
Yes, I have a
stone.
sending stone between her and I right now.
Oh, magic. Understood. Okay.
Because if his mother were here, we would certainly know about it.
So let me.
Unless
this
she's been
out.
taken by a hag.
You know, now I'm tempted to check the basement for that very reason. Do we have
If
a
you'd help, I'll
basement?
go with
I'll-
you.
I feel like Calder would know if there was a hag in the basement. And I think he would tell us if there were. I'm not sure.
Nah,
Do
He
we
would
even
definitely
have
know.
a basement?
I don't think we have a basement, you guys.
We should check for a basement, because maybe there is
I just don't think that we have a basement.
Have you guys not been here long? I'm getting the feeling you
No,
haven't
we
been here
haven't.
long.
No.
It's been a couple of days.
So I'll pull up my sending stone while this
Mhm.
is all going on, and I'll try to reach out, and I'll say, still in Greystead. Someone's looking for you. Are you all right? Where are you?
Who the fuck is Brian?
Who the fuck is Brian?
This jabroni named Brian is looking for you.
You will get a response. Please stay calm. Your father has asked to discuss some things. We are still discussing. I am safe for now. Don't worry. I can handle it.
Okay, so long story short, Erilyn is okay right now.
There you go, Brian. You got some answers.
Can I quietly insight check Fawn? Just
All right.
quietly to myself.
Insight check against Vaughn's persuasion or deception. You do not have to specify which you roll.
I think they're both the same, so that's fine with me.
I rolled a 19.
Well, I rolled a 14.
All right. You can choose to disclose what Darby might glean aloud, or you can do it privately.
Well, it's honestly, he's not sure what to think of this. Think of that, so his brow is just furrowed in confusion more than anything, because it's very rare that they have discussions these days, as far as he knows. So he's a little distracted right now. I could say.
Do you want to tell us the long version, or would you rather we not ask?
Well, I guess it's not that long. She's talking to my dad.
Oh,
But she says she's fine. She can handle it. So,
I believe her. I think she could
She's very
handle a lot
capable.
of things.
So to be clear, she's not here,
No.
and
probably not even on this plane.
I'm confused as to
the what?
It's you know.
It's complicated.
It could very well be on
It's,
the primordial plane, right?
Those are words.
Like a different continent, but really far away. Like
Yeah.
you can't get there with the boat. It's so far away.
Okay.
Really fun.
It requires a
Is-
magic doorway.
I mean, you're welcome to come up to the house to see for yourself if it will
Yes.
help ease
I-
your conscience.
Would appreciate that. Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm sure you have several questions. Come on. We can get this sorted out, I think.
I mean, magic doors and continents I can't reach certainly have shot to the top of the list, but yes, I would like to just poke my head inside if it's all the same to you.
You as well, Eve. You're more than welcome to tag along.
So I kind of have some questions of my own, but these are more important.
And perhaps we can all find out if we have a basement or not while we're here, I guess.
I am
don't
genuinely curious. No, we just moved in, so
Now I'm curious.
I don't think we have one.
has anyone seen a
a hag
little
might be
trapdoor? We'll go see if there's a hag. It's a
Oh, I
very
guess-
good. It's a very good issue to bring up.
So you haven't made it very far, but collectively, you do escort Brian and Eve back up the hill to your estate and open the door.
Calder, do we have a basement?
Do not get a response.
Oh.
I immediately go and find the bottle of wine from the night before.
Yep.
I'm
Why
gonna-
are you
I
all
will take a swig.
drinking as soon as
I
we
don't
walk
even
in the
pour it into
door?
a glass. I take a swig and then I offer it to Darby.
I also will take a swig.
Why are you all drinking as soon as you got in the door?
It's
No
just
reason.
delicious wine. Yep.
I'm gonna start looking
Never
around
had a
for a
breakfast
trapdoor.
wine?
Yeah, I've never had breakfast wine. I've had dinner wine and that didn't go very well.
Brian,
Try
if
breakfast
you-
wine.
would you like some breakfast wine? You can put it in a glass if you want, I guess.
We do have
Sausages,
glasses.
breakfast wine. We're really exposing you to a whole new just culture of cuisine.
It feels like it,
I
I
would
say as
love
I'm
wine.
looking around for a trapdoor.
Do you want a glass or do you just want the bottle?
No, the bottle's fine. We're all
I'll
friends
take a
here.
glass, please.
Oh, right.
Okay,
Let me get a.
much.
I should.
I was gonna
I'll
say,
get
do you want a bottle we haven't?
Yeah, I'll get a fresh one. Solace and Darby are just like in sync, but it's all awkward.
Very
It's
fitting
like,
for them, to be honest.
Yeah, the vibes are happening. Yeah, she will take a swig from the open bottle and then she will go get an unopened one. And she's very like clear to bring it out and show that it is unopened and open it in front of Brian and pour him a fresh glass so he knows that it has not been tainted. Any
You will
more so
still
than the
see
rest
him
of the house.
smell it cautiously and just start to wander around sipping that glass. Kind of also stomping on the ground every few steps and listening.
Oh, I mirror that for sure.
So, Eve, do you also work for my mother?
No, I am on an investigation, I guess.
What-
Which actually
okay.
brings me to my question that I had. You guys said you're new in town, right?
We are new in town.
Did you
Which one?
pass a really big storm? Or have you heard about a really big storm anywhere?
It rained for like 2 days,
Yeah.
like 2 whole days. It's a lot of rain.
It's not quite a big storm, but was there anything interesting about that storm? Did you
Nothing
get like
that I
a
think
weird
you're
feeling?
after.
Hmm.
What kind of weird feeling?
So my gods, they've kind of they sent me a vision about a big storm. I'm really into storms, by the way, and they sent me a vision of a really big storm. But there's something in that storm. I know there's something in that storm. So I kept seeing really big things every time the lightning flashed, and I know I have to find out why. I don't know why, but I know I have to find out why. So I'm just trying to find a storm.
And which gods are yours exactly?
The bickering twins, or the storm heralds, Atlas and Eonvo.
Gods
Do
being
I-
vague about their visions? Who knew? I say as I
I take
continue to
another
look
swig
around.
of wine.
I just hold up my hand for the bottle.
As
Yeah.
I finish, I am already handed like there's not, it's a seamless motion like whoop.
Do I recognize those names? Are they the ones from Port Casper that were real? Okay.
They are absolutely. They are the same gods that Vermilion served.
Whoa.
That's cool.
Okay. Was it lightning and thundering that night, those days when it was raining? When we were traveling? I feel like it was.
At least at night, yep.
I mean, we did camp out in a pretty nasty storm.
Really?
Hmm.
Our
Maybe
friend
we
got
in-
sick from the storm.
That's kind of something weird. That's I'm gonna yeah.
Well, he did.
He lied out in the rain, and it was cold for
Yeah.
a long time. I don't think it was the storm so much as just being
Yeah.
wet and cold.
I think he.
Yeah,
needed a night.
that gets some people sick sometimes.
It does. It does.
Mhm. Well, do you guys remember? I don't know. Did you see something in the clouds, or did you get like a weird feeling, or anything strange? Really, honestly. No.
Do we all know
I-
about that, or was it just Darby that knows about it, and we just know that he laid in the rain and got sick?
Darby didn't tell anybody, so if Realm didn't, then no.
Don't think he did.
Okay, I don't remember.
I don't think he did either.
So just Darby knows.
And I think Darby is quietly attributing that to something else at this point. But anyway, what kind of have you experienced weird things in storms?
No, this was a first. I've experienced a lot of storms, but nothing really weird about it.
Hmm.
You said you saw
mean-
big things in your storm. What big things did you see?
It's not really big things. It's just every time the lightning flashed, it would light something up for just a second, something really big that was in the clouds. I didn't really get much more than that, but I knew I had to go investigate it. My gods are telling me to, and so that's what I'm gonna do.
To your gods,
Power to you.
yeah, tell you to chase these storms in any particular direction at all, or just
So I knew it was in Galleon, because I'm from Anasia. This is actually my first time in Galleon. People give me a lot of weird looks. It's kind of whatever, but
It's 'cause you're a blue devil-looking thing. Sorry.
well,
Well,
I have no problem with that, but that is why people will look. Yes, they do. If you have weird skin tones here, we don't see too many of the blues.
It's very true.
we just
Oh.
Can
This is
attest.
like, you guys here are kind of like an eclectic group here. He's blue like
Admittedly
me.
a little strange.
She's not. Eyes.
I am a
Middle
drow, but
class
I won't
tea.
kill you. I promise. I'm very nice. I say as I'm still looking around for a trapdoor.
I
Why
don't
would you
look
kill me?
particularly strange at all.
And that's strange.
And apparently I look strange because I'm blue, but you know, what can you do?
It's
I
not.
mean, blue's
I'm messing with you, it's fine.
Brian, I think you just walked yourself into a hole, my darling.
It's not. Yeah. Okay. It just drinks more wine.
I go over and I tap his shoulder, and I keep looking for said non-existent trapdoor.
He'll nod, and then he'll start putting his ear up to the wall and knocking on the wall.
Are
like
you
this
quite
man.
satisfied that there's not a hag here yet?
Mostly, no. I'm just curious as to what I might find.
Nothing
As-
that needs
I'm
to fight.
curious.
Yeah.
Stay with our bedrooms are off limits.
Honestly, I
I don't want to
just-
be rude, but
I did get slightly distracted in the fact from the hag too. If our home has any secret doors.
I mean,
well, all of this
yeah,
is
I'm
happening.
curious to see what you find. We just inherited the place. We don't know its secrets.
We
can't inherit
don't.
anything.
We don't.
I'm just
You know, let us know.
telepathically linking with Christian and just saying, can you just go ahead and push the door shut and just go ahead and lay down in front of it just to make sure no one gets in there? Thank you.
Yeah, them walking in on a dead body might be weird.
Your door closed upstairs.
Yeah. You hear the door close upstairs.
I'm just curious as to why some voice in your head would tell you to come here.
As am I. So far, no hag, but also no Erilyn. So,
What did they say that
don't
made you think Erlin was here?
all went by quite quickly. The voice popped into my head and started saying that she would be here at Greystead when I asked where she was. Granted, I never did say her name, so maybe I should have clarified. Maybe I'm in the wrong place altogether.
Is the voice in your head a god too? I just want to be clear. There are a lot of gods floating around talking in people's heads, and it gets confusing sometimes.
Well, it's somewhat reassuring to know that other people hear voices in their heads. I'm not sure it's a god.
I mean, not me, but
Not me
others.
either.
Well, when we
It's-
do a sending spell as well, that always ends up in people's minds, so maybe somebody was sending you a message.
And
Wait.
telling me false information, sending me on a wild goose chase.
Well,
Cannot
if
be no geese here.
Can I just quietly and very discreetly turn on my special eyes?
special eyes.
No, there's no discretion. It's just divine light rains down upon you. But yes, you can blink and turn on your special eyes. And you look over the party of people assembled here. Everybody looks to be what they're presenting.
Cool. I will just look at the ground for a while.
I just had a picture of Darby like thinking, what disturbing thing could I should have called her before this wears off? Like what
Darby sprints into a closed room.
Well,
I am
are-
curious as to why they would think the heirloom was out here, and if it was a wild goose chase, then I assume the goal would be to get you away from the inn, and why would they want to do that?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
What do you mean, oh shit?
Well, if I left the inn unattended and something happens to it, she'll kill me. Well, she won't kill me, but she'll
Ryan.
kill me.
Right.
It's her pride and joy. She loves that thing, and I left it unattended. Oh god.
You
Okay.
like
Fine, you close
completely
down. It should be fine.
lock the
It's closed
doors?
down. I locked the doors. I locked the windows. And like we have a couple chefs on staff, but they're taking a well-earned holiday. And
You turn the stove off, unplug the irons.
I don't touch the hot things usually. I serve the drinks. So I hope somebody turned them off. I'm going to have to go back immediately.
I think there was a possibility, depending on how our morning went, that we were going to be heading in that direction? Or were we going to Ainsbury?
We're not going to Ainsbury.
I just knew that that option was set as well.
Well, we were trying to think where we might go to find help for a realm.
Oh, okay.
We also-
Okay. Sorry.
Thought that maybe the people here may need some help too. But if you think we need to go and it's your family, Vaughn, we will go.
I can only
Yeah.
picture the inn in flames right now.
I think that that's quite a jump to red flags, darling.
I think it would be okay.
even if it is in flames, and I'm not saying it is, but even if it is, you left it to come find her, so that's pretty big. I think she'll probably forgive you. I mean, I don't
Sounds
know,
worse when you
Valerian,
say
but...
it.
What? Did I make it worse? What?
It sounds worse when you say it like that. Just.
Oh boy.
It will be fine, Brian. Everything will be fine.
Vaughn, if you think we should go, we'll go. I would just like to. We should maybe speak to a few people before we leave. And then we should let Calder know as well. But Calder was going to go ahead to Camp Sorsha, maybe. Although I don't think anyone had yet to pay whatever price he was going to ask for that.
First things first, we need to talk to some people in town today, and we should figure out what we're gonna do based on the information given there, because that could make us pivot them some things. So there's no sense in talking too much about it right now. We should go find out what we need to find out.
I also need to remember to leave a letter from my brother or some sort of sign if he's going to end up showing up while we're not here.
Yes. Yes, for sure. We could definitely leave a note or something here at the estate or wherever they're holding letters right now. We'll see.
Oh dear. We have to find.
Could just leave it in the estate. I imagine he might try to get inside. Or leave it on the door, maybe. I don't know.
Isn't today the day they said that the mail was going. The courier was going to run?
I don't know that it will now, but
I mean,
I think
he's going to come.
yes, that's true.
I don't know where he'll go to, but
I don't know, the next best thing would be the tavern or the town hall, maybe? I don't know.
maybe I'm not sure. We should.
So Brian, you are welcome to stay, or if you want to look around a little more, or go about town, ask some questions. Eva, I think we're going to start by the mayor's first. If you ask them about your storms.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys wouldn't mind if I tagged along. I know we just met and all, but
Right.
I gotta talk to
Also got
people.
questions. Wouldn't hurt.
I do. Thank you.
You're not the only
I'm not-
person we've met with a mission from their god that has joined us before.
Ooh.
I
Not
don't-
my gods.
No.
Oh,
Different gods.
different gods, yes.
different gods. You're on a
I'm not
mission from your god?
currently-
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Talking about gods is much more important. I was just going to say I'm really tired. I'm not really built for cross-country excursions and...
There's a room upstairs if you'd like to take a rest while we. I will personally escort you up to
Yes.
a room upstairs if you
Someone-
would like to. My room, my bed has not been slept in ever.
We
so.
have a guest room.
Oh, we do. Okay, the guest room then. I forgot we had a guest room.
In the
The guest room. There was a lot of discussion around whether it was going to be a guest room or if we were knocking down some walls and turning it into a Turkish bath or some such. I'm not sure, but anyway, I will take him to the guest room. But yeah,
But perhaps when I come back, I have the ability to perhaps help you figure out that voice in your head. Perhaps about the message or something you've received.
Sure, any help would be appreciated. I'm feeling a
That
little
would
bit
actually be
lost at the
fantastic.
moment.
well, here,
Yeah,
have
if we could find
a.
out something about that voice. That would be fantastic.
Okay, I'm thinking about the voice.
Right now? Right now or when we come back?
When we come back, we're
When we
still
come
gonna need to find out what we need to find out in town anyway.
I will escort him upstairs and make sure he has a glass of water and tuck him in. And then I will also reach across and check the knob to Realm's room to make sure the door is thoroughly shut.
Door still seems to be shut.
Sweet. Then I will rejoin the others as I assume we head out.
Okay.
We should let him know about Realm, right? Because he's gonna probably.
No.
Just
There is a very angry
I-
wolf in that room. Do
Panic.
not go in there. Just
don't.
leave it.
That's not helpful. Oh no, Darby, that's not.
Can I ask
Oh,
why
dear.
it's a big deal to keep it a secret from him?
It's
I
it's just an awkward explanation. I just don't want to explain
When they find
anything.
it without an
Just-
explanation.
Well,
And
I mean,
Eve is
he
just
walked
standing
through
here for
the
this whole
Maybe we
thing.
should just
Like,
say
Eve is
something
just
though,
right.
because like,
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Well,
super
they
curious.
did walk through the
Point.
town and see the mess
if
and
he
the
start-
bodies and the war that
If
went
he starts
on.
going through rooms that he wasn't invited into, then that is, and he scares himself, then he has asked for it. And
What do you got? I'm not
we will
asking.
not let
I'm
him
not
in
asking.
the room. It will be fine. No one is getting in there.
look, I will turn to Eve and I will
Elephant in
take her
the
hands and
closet.
I will say, there was a terrible battle last night, and we lost someone very close to us. And we have him in repose upstairs in hopes that we are able to bring him back as we've done before. There's a lot of magic, but I feel like you might understand that there's such magic in the world. I feel like it might upset Brian that we're keeping a body and hope that we might resurrect them later. But you seem like you can probably handle it.
That feels like a very
I can
strong
handle a lot.
assumption about somebody we don't know anything about.
Does I look at Eve and I say,
He's got a kind of I mean, I haven't even known him that long, but he has kind of like a sensitive disposition.
he's a
I'm
little
cool,
high
though.
strung. Yeah, you seem very down to earth when it comes. So, but we don't want to disturb Brian any more than he already has been. Yes.
Lips are a shield on the body. I mean,
Good. I
not on the
pat her
body.
hands and let them go. And
Please do not see your lips on the
I'm not even playing Realm and I still fucking say weird things.
I'm not sure I
that's-
agree, but I will read the room and not say anything else on it.
I will telepathically link with Christian again and say, hey,
Mhm.
if anyone tries to open the door, just be very cute and distracting and take them out of the room. Don't take them out, just take them out of the room.
Targets down.
I again, for the second time today, grab a roll and head for the door. If they're coming, but I can't sit in this room anymore.
Darby is just like a fucking golden retriever. Like someone's going outside, so they're like, oh yeah, me too.
It's perfect. It's perfect. I make sure to hold the door wide open for Darby so they can get through.
Sprint outside.
Oh no, that's just our Darby.
I just do that, it's fine.
All right. Do we need a pee break?
Yeah, I have to pee really bad.
I was wondering about that. I was like, wow, this is really long for y'all not to have a pee.
I got
This is-
to pee.
Well, I'm okay, so I was
Like,
gonna
I
punish
will-
as usual.
No.
Pee break if we need to take one. but
Well, I'll
otherwise,
just, if you want to keep going, I'm just gonna go pee. I'll just give me a sec.
I already just go pee and just wait until it's a time I don't have to talk.
So, you will finally continue down the hill and into the town proper, and you find it's rather busy. It seems that most of the shops and stalls are closed, as their merchants and would-be patrons are instead putting their effort and their time into clearing rubble and stripping the stone armor off of the pile of meat that was once the highwaymen.
Never
It is,
seen something like that before.
Yes, you are coming down, and there is just this, like, semi-picked clean corpse of a giant worm that townspeople are just taking apart piece by piece, trying to disassemble. You are watching townspeople with arms full of boulders and rubble, trying to load them into wagons and carriages and tow them out of town.
Does Eve look concerned or fascinated by this?
I'm fascinated, and she's actually gonna be like, "Are those covered?
Is what
Are those all over the place? Are those common around here in Galleon?"
the worms?
I
I don't.
hope
Yeah,
not.
gosh, I don't think so. We saw some smaller ones. There were smaller ones, not like, but that's the only big one we've seen so far.
so far, though. If you've seen small ones, it could be other big ones.
There could be. I don't want
Again,
to
I
see any
hope
more of
not.
them from the inside. But
You
Yes.
saw one from the really?
well, to be fair, I couldn't see very well. It was dark, musty.
If they
Yeah.
weren't cut
Yeah,
open, I imagine they were probably dark.
Barely caught that with everything going on. That was wild.
Yes, I'm glad that I had that dimension bead that I had the whole time in order to rescue myself. It's swallowed. Well, it tried to swallow Darby first. I think it just chewed on them a little bit instead.
Yeah, it did do that.
It hurt a lot less getting swallowed than being chewed, I think.
As I imagined it would.
Do they have teeth?
Oh yeah.
Do worms
Yeah,
have teeth?
big.
That
So
one
many.
did. That one had a lot of teeth.
So many.
Big teeth. That's very. I'm like holding my hand up to indicate the size of the teeth. I mean, there may still be.
As-
Would you like a tooth?
As
Okay,
you
let's take a good look.
try and indicate the size, a large tradesman goes by with one of the teeth kind of cradled in his arms and the point slung over his shoulder. It's probably about 3 feet tall.
I will look at Darby to see if there are any teeth-shaped scars, so I can indicate. Like, are they right there?
I imagine there's some scratches and dings on the armor at this point. On the old armor right now.
Well, you guys sound pretty lucky to not, be in the belly anymore.
Most of us lived.
Oh yeah. So I'm sorry about that again.
We're going to find a way to fix it. We've died before. Some of us.
Yeah.
This has already been an exciting trip.
Wait until you meet the mayor.
He's
Has he died and come back to life too?
no.
I haven't asked.
No.
Are you sure?
He doesn't see. I feel like I would know. He doesn't have
Would
that
you?
vibe. He'd have a vibe after that. Like Vaughn has one now, and I have it.
You've all
So
done. Not
slightly
you.
haunted vibe.
And a slightly haunted vibe.
You guys are an eclectic
I
bunch.
didn't know about that. Maybe I should ask about that later, though. Okay. Well, if you all wanted to speak to the mayor, I was going to see if perhaps I could help out around here somewhat. Maybe check in with Todd or with the captain. I don't know what. I'm not sure I'll be that much help with the mayor.
Okay.
Quite honestly, he's very
That sounds-
cheery, and I'm not sure I'm in the mood for it.
That is also very fair.
Yeah, he is gonna be cheery, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, usually.
I mean, in his defense, he has a somewhat right to be.
He does. I'm not saying he doesn't.
No, I mean, it is good, and I'm glad that so many people are well. His particular cheeriness is less of the proud of our survival and more of the I am putting on this act for the people, and it just feels a little less genuine. I'd rather be with the people who are genuinely happy to be alive, like us.
Okay. Does anyone also need to step away from the overwhelming energy and positivity that we're about to run into?
I'm actually pretty curious for it. I'm definitely coming.
I'm going to be
Hey.
coming regardless. Could be a crying mess, and I would still go.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm hoping it leads to other things, so I'm going.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So as always, we will catch you in a.
If you decide to do anything, call me first because I there are some things, other things I can do to help negate Navira if necessary.
Yeah, we will certainly let you know when we can speak to her.
Okay.
I thought that that's
I'll see you
why we
later.
were going to the town hall, because that's where they dragged her. Was to both speak to the mayor and to Navira.
I mean, if she's also there, then
That's why I'm sticking around, because I hope she's here.
I think I saw them bringing her that way, so...
Okay, then I suppose I will stay with the group. JK.
I was gonna say that's Ace don't wander far.
Solus is just desperately trying to get away from us at this point. I can't.
Understandable. Understandable.
Yeah, I get it, but
Yeah.
no, you can't.
Okay.
So after some deliberation, you will all start to file towards the town hall, which does seem to be an epicenter of sorts. There are plenty of townspeople and guards that come in and out, and when you enter the building, you do notice immediately that it is more busy, and you spot Theodore Millard at a haphazardly set up table that is receiving updates from cleanup crews and issuing new orders. Colm hovers nearby, just watching and smiling and patting people on the shoulder as they walk by. He's like, "You're doing a fantastic job." You do notice immediately as you enter, to the left at his desk sits Garen, the gnome, who looks up at you, furrows his brows, grunts, and then hops off his stool and starts towards where Theo and Colm are, getting their attention. And shortly after that, they both look towards you. And so too do the gazes, all kind of converge onto you, of the townspeople and the guard, as they realize you've entered. And they kind of part to allow you passage.
We're passaging.
You approach the desk where Theodore is trying to coordinate the rebuild and rescue. He'll stand a little straight. He looks tired, but not unhappy. Colm is grinning ear to ear and will happily announce as you approach. "Ah, yes, the esteemed heroes. Here at last. Oh, mostly esteemed heroes." And he'll look to you. You even go, "Sorry, what's your name? Are you with them?"
No, just hang out with them for now. I'm not a hero.
Oh, okay. Okay, the heroes and Eve, who's hanging out for now.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, very helpful. Risked their lives for us. Slayed the worm. Brought the villainous to heel. And there's just kind of a mumbling of the townspeople around who maybe don't share the same kind of enthusiasm.
I also don't, if it makes them feel better.
I guess, are most of the townspeople here in the hall?
Not most, but there is like a good group of probably a couple dozen that were coming and going, waiting for updates, waiting for more instruction.
Yeah. I understand that it. I understand that it
Go
won't
ahead.
feel like a whim for many. It's. I'm sure a lot are feeling devastation right now, and we are also sharing our part in it. But we are glad that most of the city was able to pull through, and the city is still standing strong.
Yes, it was devastating, the losses we experienced. And through Greysted's great strength, we will persevere, for we are strong. And eventually
speech.
you'll see the captain reach over and put his hand on the elf's shoulder and say, "Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think we're all feeling a little bit shell-shocked right now. Why don't you go help organize the worm disassembly squad?" It's like, yes, of course. Disassemble the worm. Puff out his chest and start to waddle out. You hear a long sigh.
He sounds like Nia. It's great. He doesn't want to disassemble the worm, guys.
And Theo will rub at his face a little and say, sorry about that. He does mean well. He just doesn't have a lot of tact.
You're not the only one that
You know
said
you
so.
did.
Yeah, I beat you to it.
Now, what can I do for you?
Frankly, we were just checking in to make sure there wasn't anything more we could do for you.
Well, there is plenty of work. If you were asking, you're welcome to jump in on any of the cleanup. There's most of the inn we still need to clear away, and there is a big old carcass in the middle of our town that we have to figure out something to do with. But it is a carcass and not a living, breathing, consuming worm, so we're counting our blessings there. Thankfully, your friend took care of most of the dead that we didn't want no business with. So,
How kind of him.
I'm not entirely sure it was out of kindness, but it was a mess that needed cleaning.
She leans in. She says, I was being sarcastic.
He smiles, says, I know.
So, also the one that we did hold, that we caught our captive. Where is she being held right now, and is she going to continue to be detained here?
Well, we were kind of waiting on your direction for that. She is currently below the hall, under watch and lock and key. She's in rough shape and has been kept that way. I take no pride in saying. But she's there. She's still alive.
I guess that is business that we need to take care of next.
Well, I can bring you to her. I don't actually think I need to warn you, but given you've got a new face, I will still caution you. She's dangerous. I'd keep your distance. She may look subdued, but well, she headbutt Gillian real good this morning.
Checks
We
out.
won't underestimate her.
All right. Well. Woodrich, man the table for a moment, and he will go to step out from behind the desk while another one of the guards will take over and begin speaking to one of the groups of townspeople that had shuffled aside to let you pass. And you can hear him giving orders that the tailors needed some assistance onboarding their shop, and once that was done, they can continue with the other buildings. In the meantime, Theo will lead you past the door that you know leads to Colm's office into a little stone doorway near the back of the building that leads to a set of cobblestone stairs going down into a torchlit basement.
Eva will put her hand on Solus's arm and just be like, "Can I come? Would you guys rather I stay here?" I'm not really.
So it's clear that Solus was kind of in her own little world. She sort of startles, but as soon as she realizes, she sort of turns and then puts her hands over Eve's and she says, I think that it could go badly. This is the person who killed our friend, and I think that there will be a bit of a reckoning, and if you've the stomach for it, I think that you're welcome to join us, but I don't think anyone would blame you if you don't.
Gotta say, I'm very curious, and also my legs work. I'll walk away if I don't like whatever I'm seeing or hearing.
Just know that she's
Like that attitude.
tricky.
My legs work.
My legs work. I can walk away. I like that.
So, the six of you together proceed into the basement. At the bottom of the stairs, Theo will grab a torch and move it a little bit deeper into the square stone, cold and damp room that makes out these little holding cells beneath the hall. There's only two of them, made up of iron bars. One gate remains open, for that cell is empty. The other one is shut, locked with a thick padlock and many wraps of chain. It's not much space in there, probably about 10 feet from the edge of the cell to the wall at the back of it, where a body sits upright, but there is cloth over the familiar drow's eyes, cloth wrung tightly through the drow's mouth, her hands bound behind her, feet in iron shackles. She sits hunched forward. You hear the jingling of keys as Theodore begins to sort through the ones on his belt. Now, I understand you all may have a certain kind of business with her. I'm not fixing to judge. How can I help?
Can't hear you, Ethan, if you're talking.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So, I think that we're gonna be able to handle what we need to do here, but I think the townsfolk need you more than we do. At this moment.
All right. Out of precaution, I'll be keeping a post at the top of the stairs, but should you need anything, just yell, and he'll hold out the key to you, Vaughn.
Thank you.
He nods, looks towards the battered body on the other side of that locked door, and heads for the stairs. You can hear him ascending. You can hear his voice yelling across the crowd. And then he is gone. And it is just you, that small little room, and the figure hunched over on the other side of the locked door.
I'll snap my fingers and summon a mage hand.
Okay. A little blue hand appears, floating just a few feet in front of you.
Just in case.
I mean, it'd be wiser to undo the bindings with the mage hand than with the actual hands. Go ahead.
Alright,
Or at least
I
the mouth
will
gag.
gesture it towards her. Say, can of course cast silence, but I don't think that will help you if you're hoping to get information from her.
Yeah.
I will sort of step back, kind of lean against the opposite wall and just be ready in case
So
I
the
need to
mage
counterspell
hand
something.
will pull, struggles for a couple seconds, but eventually the one hand will undo the binding that keeps the gag tight around her mouth, and it falls away, and you can hear her cough and breathe deep, maybe properly for the first time in hours.
Good morning, sunshine.
And she'll sit up a little bit straighter and I'm fairly certain I put that voice To death too. Marvelous.
Interestingly enough, but yet here I am. Allow me to reintroduce myself. So, I'm Vaughn, and we're a bit curious as to what drove you to strike at us with such vengeance. Firstly, before we get into business.
Can't say I know what you're talking about. I'm simply doing my job. I hear one voice. Maybe another. But there's more of you, isn't there? I can smell you.
I don't say anything.
I smell my arm. I think I'm alright.
She does.
So, you brought a lot to this town, and all that for a traitor? Just one?
I think you know it's not just one.
Right, yes, you were expecting to find someone that isn't in this town.
Someone I'd hoped to be a little more substantial, but instead I got you. Lucky me.
Your decision cost the life of every member in your squad. You have to realize the repercussions if you were to return without your team.
I know maybe you don't understand the price and nature of loyalty, but not a single man or woman that embarked on that raid with me was not ready to lay down their lives for the order of their commander.
And I can assure you that I understand just well, except the people loyal to me are still standing.
But the commander wasn't you, was it? You said you were following orders yourself. And these orders were to capture Viconia?
I don't know that you quite have the authority to ask me what the nature of my orders were. I would have expected Viconia to have debriefed you a little bit, but then again, she never really did know much.
I looked at Viconia silently just to see if there's anything she wants to elaborate on with that, because I certainly don't know.
About how... Is she referring to, like, how they operate? Or about who sent them out?
Bit of both, as far as you can tell.
So enlighten me then.
I'm not in the mood for being very enlightening.
They were sent out by the Vassilas. Because Valil has something that he wants.
Can I insight check her when Viconia says that?
Navira,
Mm-hmm.
you can. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
That is a 14. Actually, before you tell me if that succeeds or fails, I'm going to give myself Bardic Inspiration.
And what are you inciting?
17. So as Viconia says, so that a total of 17. As Viconia says, this is why they were here. They were sent for this, that, and the other. I'm trying to see if her face gives away if that's true or not.
I think I'm smelling, sensing. You didn't bring the corpse with you. Suppose it's useless now that it's dead.
What makes you think we didn't do the same thing with Vaughn? Powerful people that we are. He's resting. You failed.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
I didn't. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. 19.
Her head kind of cocks to one side, and she goes, "Tell me, are his eyes as pretty as they were before I plucked them out?"
Oh, I'm sorry, did you want that answer so you still had some form of satisfaction?
No, I'm just curious. And I love to hear how angry you get.
My anger right now is your lack of care for the lives that you killed.
Was it I that killed them?
Under your orders, yes. You said so yourself. They followed you into battle, ready to die. And we fought for our
Searching for
lives.
someone who could have very well made that toll go away. All you had to do was walk out into the woods. Your friend would still have his eyes. The town, likely a few holes less. Those people, little more alive. Less dead sons and husbands and fathers to mourn.
Vicona, I think she does care.
Pardon, you kind of clipped out.
I think she does care. Oh yeah. I think absolutely. I mean, gosh, it has to be so embarrassing, wasn't it? A couple of elite assassins, trained since birth, couldn't handle a couple of kids in the woods at night. Your ideal elements. And you lost everyone. You had to be pulled out of that, and the person that you killed is still standing, talking to you right now. Everyone that you killed in our party is still alive, and that, oh god, that has to sting, doesn't it?
And the person who tried the hardest to get you out is a corpse now, too.
Loss and failure. I'm sure Navira cares a lot, Piconia.
She seemed to feel very strongly about you when she called out your name that night.
So, Navira, you were really just hoping to catch Piconia out of all this.
What is it you want to hear?
It's certainly not. I imagine that you had something much bigger planned, and I am curious to see what's coming next in your little saga.
Well, in my saga, I suppose I too will die. What is the notion of being comfortable with that uncomfortable to you?
No. It's just a little confirming that you don't really have much to offer us here.
There's nothing I would give you, except for a warning. I would recommend you kill me, because I will escape. And when I do, one by one, I will watch the light leave each of your eyes, and I will keep them as prizes.
Do you blame yourself for her dying? Maybe you should.
I do. I don't imagine this will garner any sympathy, nor do I want it. I stand by my threat, but that was my wife you killed. And one way or another, should I have to return from the afterlife to do it, you will each pay for it.
Is that really the cycle you want to be caught in?
You let that abomination touch her corpse. There is no cycle I would not damn to see retribution.
You came to sentence both my brother and I to death. Your wife
And
dying.
I'll do it again.
Your wife dying was your choice. You brought her to take our lives. We defended. Is this really all you want? To be stuck in revenge and have all these lives on your hand time after time? In school, I saw something more than this murderous person I see in front of me. This is what Claude makes you to be. You and your wife could be living happily. You could have made the choice to stay in the city. But you let some petty thing over me and my brother lead this.
You assume we do not find happiness in duty. I would follow his direction, and how dare you take his name so lightly?
We are bred from childhood to be controlled and used. And you don't see that. Smart as
We
you
are
are,
bred to conquer.
we could be so much more. We are not just soldiers, we are souls. And
You are an exiled, lost little girl, a failure in every way, preaching on things you will never understand.
it's you who
I
doesn't
tire of
understand.
hearing your voice.
Well, alright then. I see nothing further to be initiated here. We'll take our leave. I'll leave you with one final thing. We never intended to kill you, even when you started to fight us, because we had questions and we were eager to have a conversation. But when you killed me, you killed any chances of her surviving. And I'll leave you with that.
A turn to go.
I don't move.
Yep, I'm waiting too.
So Vaughn and Viconia begin to ascend back to where a couple of guards still stand watch, and you do notice as you begin to climb the stairs, one of them kind of leaning back curiously, listening, and then as soon as he sees people come around the corner, he straightens up a bit.
If it looks like Darby's lingering, then I'll just leave Darby the keys. I don't know if the jail cell was even officially opened, but
It wasn't. You
I'll
were
leave
just
Darby the
handed
keys.
the key on the ring. Yep.
Okay. Make sure it's locked before you go.
They'll nod.
As soon as everybody else has gone upstairs, I don't know if he's sticking around for this part of the show or not. Okay. As soon as everybody else has gone upstairs, I will pull the high quality dagger that I took off of one of the other drow, and I will offer it hilt first to Darby.
They'll take it.
I'm not leaving you alone with her, Darby. Anything could happen. She still has magic in her.
Very well. Then you should hold on to these, and I will hand Solus the keys. And I will Misty Step into the cell. And I'm just gonna go ahead and Misty Step right in her face.
Okay. She feels the presence of you arriving and will sit up a little bit straighter. Just a natural, there's somebody here now reaction.
I'm not gonna say much at first, but I will reach down and just kind of pull the blindfold up enough so she can see. I understand, like you, the need for retribution. And I understand breaking natural cycles to get what you need. But you will not get the pleasure of seeing the light leave anyone else's eyes ever again. My face will be the last thing that you ever see. And if she does nothing, I will waste no time, and I'm going to try to stab her in both of her eyes.
Okay. On the next floor, those of you mingling with the townsfolk will hear a brief, pained, but blood-curdling cry of pain before it is bit down on. There are still shouts, loud breaths, angry screaming. The townspeople are exchanging looks on edge, and Theodore waves his hands quickly above his head and says, "It's all fine. It's all fine. Everyone, let's just clear out," and begins to rally with his guards and steer the civilians from the building. Your party is left, but everyone else who seemed unsettled and uncomfortable by the sounds emitting from that basement are ushered out. There's
Close
only
my
one
eyes.
cry of pain, and then just sounds of anger and misery.
I close
Finish.
my eyes, grit my teeth, and stand tall regardless.
Knee his shoulder and kind of be like, "It's okay. We can leave if you want."
No, I think that she's right about one thing. A lot of this is my fault, and I should be here for every step of the way. But thank you. Put my hand over hers.
I will, before that goes on for very long, I will cast silence over the cell. I am not looking away. I mean, I am. Solace isn't. But yeah, she will cast silence over the cell so everything goes quiet. And whatever happens after that, she will be there for.
Maybe we should have put the gag back on before we left.
Yeah, no, I am going to put the gag back in her mouth and pull the little blindfold back down. Can I talk? Or am I completely silenced?
The whole room is silence.
Okay.
Oh, it's yeah, sorry.
No,
I can
that's
look
fine.
If you'd
No,
rather. I just
no, that's
trying
totally
to save
fine.
the screams. But
Go ahead.
Solace would absolutely. Well, never mind. You can't hear me, so no, that's not. I will, because I'm outside the field. I will send Darby a sending directly into their brain, which I think would bypass it. And I will tell them that they need to finish it. While she's still alive, she's a threat.
They seem to they're a little conflicted for a second. And then they will just put the point of that dagger to her forehead and drive all of their weight into it.
Okay. Under your weight, you feel the elf's skull give. There's resistance at first, and then you're almost falling forwards. There's a brief twitch below you, and then she is still.
Wave my hand to lift the silence.
We'll pull the dagger out and Misty step out of the cell.
I'll hold out my hand for the dagger.
Can I do an
Oh, that's
insight
a
check on Darby? Or is there enough blood to just kind of assume what happened?
I'll take the dagger and pull a cloth out of my pocket and I'll clean it and put it away. And then I will, before we go upstairs, make sure that there's no blood on either of us. And I will stand there quietly for a minute. Then I'll look up at Darby and wait for them to be ready to go.
They will turn and go
She'll
without
follow
a
them.
word or glance.
You both ascend the stairs to return to the upper floor where Vaughn, Eve, and Viconia wait. Vaughn, you can go ahead and make an insight check.
Cool. Okay. Ooh, 17. Wait, hold on. No, that's my persuasion modifier. I've rolled a nat 15 plus, what's my insight? 5, 20, dirty 20.
Nice. I would wager that nothing really needs to be said. You gathered enough from the sound you heard briefly before it was snuffed out. And just under having spent as much time with Darby as you have, understands the kind of atmosphere around them. You're fairly confident you know what happened.
Okay. Well, then I feel confident enough then to, I guess, First, I'll go and I guess ask for the keys or hold my hand out for the keys.
I will give them to him.
Okay. Then I'll find it was Theo that gave them to us, right?
Yes.
Okay. If he's still there, then I'll bring him back the keys. And I'll say, unfortunately, it was not a very productive conversation. We are going to send someone to take care of it. What's down there for you, though.
All right. I'll leave it in your very capable hands. We'll keep everyone maybe productive elsewhere for a while.
Good call. And sorry about that.
Honestly, there's a fair part of me that knows she deserved it, and a fair part of me that wishes I could. But I have other callings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if y'all need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. And we're hoping, if not this evening or maybe tomorrow, that once the worst of the work is behind us, that you might join us for a few drinks to unwind.
I'm sure it would be good to celebrate those of us that are still here.
Yeah.
That's the
We'll be there.
idea. Good. I'm glad. Well, the busy don't get rest. And he'll start to wander back over to where the crowd has migrated to receive new updates and suggestions and a work order.
Awkward. I kind of wanted to talk to him, but it was a bad time. It was a bad time.
So Calder was right about, our cousin was right about one thing. Some things are better answered by a dead person than an alive one. So I'm sure Calder will be delighted to know there's someone else we'd love to have a conversation with before they're added to the books.
I'm just gonna go find a privy and vomit a long time. Like a lot.
I'm sorry.
And then I will. No, and she walks away like she's fine. She just walks away. And then she returns several minutes later. With like swallowing. And she's fine. She's got her face back on and it's good. It's good. Totally fine.
Bonus action vomit.
Bonus action vomit. Free action pretend you didn't vomit.
Should we think about leaving though after the party and making sure that the town is settled and okay where they are? Start making our way towards Camp Saucer.
If we can, by any chance, verify that this town's going to be safe if we walk away, I am more than happy with getting on the road again after tonight.
Okay. And, well, Eve, if you and Brian don't mind waiting, we most likely will be headed in that direction if you all would like some company. Back to the inn.
I can't speak for Brian, though I'm sure he'd probably be fine with that. I just need to talk to someone. I don't know where I'm going after this. I gotta talk to someone and find out. But if I do gotta go towards wherever Camp Sarsha is, then I would be happy to join if you guys wouldn't mind. Me.
Not at all.
You're not even the weirdest looking person in the group.
Who
I have a
is?
question though, can you fly?
I can fly. Yeah, I can
That
fly.
is so
a
cool.
thing.
I am a bit jealous.
It's pretty cool.
I float. I can't fly. That's cool.
I can only fly for a short period of time, but it seems that you have that option all the time, so I am also a little bit jealous.
Mm.
I'm very good at swimming. I'm a very good swimmer.
See, I can't. Well, no, I can swim. I can't do some of the things I'm sure you can. I don't know you well enough. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Fly or swim, so.
My talent is being positive.
That's a very good talent to have.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is reading people's minds.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Love the wings, though.
Why? Thank you. I'll give him a little like slap.
I'm gonna go find someone I can help. I would like to find somebody I can help.
I'm gonna see if I can see that cheerful blonde guy. Colm or whatever his name.
I think realizing after that everything that needs help is manual labor, I'll probably head back to the house.
I will go find someone to help in town also, but
Yeah.
I will give Solace her space because she's been trying to get away from us for so long.
It's not that. It's not that. No, you are welcome to accompany her and also get an assignment.
If there's people to heal, she's all over it.
Right.
However, if it's manual labor.
The automatic feeder just went off, and I could just hear the fucking scramble
Noise.
side of the wall as Jack fucking slides his face into the bowl.
You know what? Same, Jack.
I think
Yeah. Throw him in.
Vaughn would focus more so on the people than the assignments. Just checking in with everyone who looks like they're got a little more load in the moment than they can bear.
Yeah. Get the deposit that Solace will eventually start humming, and yeah, just trying to,
Yeah.
like Vaughn, lift spirits.
Okay.
Oh, the heroes of Callius are here, and they're helping us pick up all the rocks.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I mean, not all of them are helping with the rocks, but some of them are here.
Actually capable of picking up rocks. Okay,
Some of
be
us
real. Let's
are-
look at all our strengths. Well, maybe, I don't know. Eve could be like super strong. We don't know yet.
Hi, little boy.
Eve will help though. She's not super strong, but she will help when, just follow everyone's lead.
You can all find tasks and ways to help in the city beyond just moving rocks or helping to rebuild. There is patchwork that needs to be done. Kittens that need to be pulled out of the rubble.
Kitties that are screaming.
Kitties that are screaming desperately. But there are animals to calm and help to herd. There are tasks beyond physical strength that you all can find ways to lend your talents.
Love it.
for.
Love it. Perfect.
I'm picking up
Perfect.
frogs and moving them off the path.
Oh, ew, frogs, gross. Yeah.
I will help herd animals.
I'll help calm people. I can do that.
But you
And,
spend
Eve,
much of the
while
day.
you're-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Eve, while you're helping people, you could also ask around about the storms. See if
Whoa,
anyone's
I
around.
intend to. I'm going to. Don't worry. I got that covered.
Hell yeah. Cool.
So, baby.
Just a little guy.
Little guy.
A little guy with no
Little
food.
guy. He's starving.
Starving to death.
He's starving. He's just little. So you can all find tasks to be helpful enough within the city, and it is how you spend your day into the afternoon and into the evening, where eventually it does seem that most of the hardest part of the work is behind the town. There is still much work to be done, but the bulk of it seems to be easy to move past now. There does seem to be a charge in the air as night falls
You
over Greystead and kittens scream into the evening. As the town braces to enjoy a quieter night of drinking, enjoying the company of friends and loved ones. And it is celebrations that you are invited to partake in, giving you chances to mingle with the townspeople that remain, gather their stories, as well as share your own, and ask around for more information on great giant storms or decent recipes to try with local produce, or maybe a sneaky little pond in the woods to the north that some of the young ones like to go play at. But that is where we will end for the evening. We can pick up sometime very soon. I will open a few channels for the day into the night to do with what you will. And we will pick up shortly. You're rolling a deep 4. Okay.
Okay.
I will pick up again soon. But in the meantime, everyone have a wonderful night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll see you all again soon. Bye.